It's the SawCast. A real nigga speak that real shit on real topics every day, and I go by the name of Steve-O.
And I'm Ariel. So what the fuck is up, y'all? You know what I'm saying? This week we got a new podcast for you guys. Some shit that's going to be hopefully helpful to you guys, especially during these times. You know what I'm saying?
Yes, it's a pandemic, a shortage of cash flow within the working class.
Mm-hmm.
So we gotta figure out other ways. It's about time we figure out other ways to manage our money.
Yeah, and you know, it's a lot of motherfuckers saying it's a pandemic. You know what I'm saying? If
Other
motherfuckers
people-
is getting bans, then they're scamming. Okay, they're doing something illegally. Because if you guys, I probably can do. I probably should start doing something like this, anyways. But I have links of, you know, of a lot of statistics on how people are doing, especially in the like the 18 to 29 range, which is I feel like a lot of people that listen to us and, you know, people who enjoy our podcast. And if you are going through a lot, if you're struggling financially, then you're not alone. We were hit the hardest out of everybody because we all from previous generations compared to ours, we all went to college. You know what I'm saying? A lot more of us went to college. A lot of more of us went stopped bringing in income in order for us to learn some shit. So we are now trying to get our return on investment for getting our college degrees, and it's not happening for us. It hasn't happened for us, and a lot of us are in debt, and we are slowing down on getting married, slowing down on having kids and all that because of that. So we just want y'all to know that if you're going through something, you know what I'm saying, during this, and you're hearing people saying pandemic money, blah, 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 just know motherfuckers is scamming, motherfuckers is going to go to jail, but you are not alone.
But I'll say this, though. Some people are skimming this shit, but there's motherfuckers out there getting it. Because I will say
True.
that this sports betting has become very popular in the most recent times. Well, sports betting has always been a thing.
But you gotta understand, like,
different platforms.
But
of
that
sports
came out of
betting.
what though? Desperation. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Yeah.
motherfuckers trying to figure out quicker ways to get money
To
because
get
it's
money, yeah.
stressful right now.
Definitely.
And then it's like motherfuckers keep on telling everybody to spend the money they're getting from the government on some investing some type of way or something like that. So a good way to get some money is definitely
it's
sports betting for sure.
Sports betting.
Then
That's
yeah.
crazy. People making money off of that, too.
Then we saw everything that's going on with the stock market and stuff.
Yep, stocks is
and you
another
know,
thing.
I think
People
that has
making money.
contributed. That shows, like, the statistics show that we have gotten a lot more educated, so we're understanding the stock market more. And it's not even that, like, when you're educated, even if you got a master's, or even if you got a bachelor's in journalism, or you got a bachelor's in arts and in society, the way that they teach us how to learn in college, you can go learn stocks, you know what I'm saying, and understand it pretty quickly if you went to college. So all of these people are learning how to do this, and they're all working together, and like, we about to get paid off of this.
Yeah, our generation is starting earlier on some things. Like, I mean, people are in the housing markets too.
Mm-hmm.
I know a lot of people making money out of the not a lot of people, but there are people capitalizing off of those housing opportunities because, you know, some of those properties are a little undervalued and people are refurnishing them. Yep, they're refurnishing them. They upgrading appliances and things, and they selling them for higher. You know, I'm not in that yet, but
Right.
I feel
like swear.
I'm gonna get to that.
Yeah,
But right now, you know, I'm into the stocks and budgeting. So.
All right. So for this podcast, we're going to do basically a high level of budgeting, savings, and investments, so we can just, you know, put them in layman's terms so that everybody can understand the differences between the three, how to do them, how's the best way to get it. You know what I'm saying? Some hustles that we've learned over the last few months. Just trying to make sure that, you know what I'm saying, we are straight as far as we're not getting behind. You know, we're not just, because a lot of time, this is a really stressful time. This is a really suicidal time. This is a dark time because everybody's finances are as worse than they ever been before. This is not just us, not just regular people. People who have businesses are having to,
millionaires and shit.
Yeah, they're having to, like, fire people, and they know that this is going to affect their family because they're the breadwinner. It's everybody's having issues, so we just want to do our part in trying to educate people on how we've learned how to budget, how we learn how to save, and what we know about investments in layman's terms.
Yeah, definitely. We're trying to break it down to you,
And we don't know
let you
everything, and
understand
there's some
it.
topics we steering away from because we don't even want to talk about it.
Yeah. So then what we tell y'all, is what I tell y'all too is do your own research as well. I mean, we still learning some of this stuff that we're talking about, and it's more than one way to skin a cat, but we just trying to help you out. If you ain't thinking, we just trying to get your wheels in motion.
Yeah, and I do want to say, I don't know if everybody know this already, but I do have a master's in business administration, and so I do understand these type of things. I've even talked to Steven about these things. We lived together for a short period of time. Well, actually, a couple of years we lived together. But while we were living together, we were practicing the things that we were talking about, and it's helping Steven in his own house, and it's helping me because I haven't been, working for a while, but I have been able to maintain my lifestyle because I've done these things, So I just want everybody to understand that we do practice what we preach. Everything we telling you, we do. We're not telling you nothing that we don't know nothing about.
Understand that this is not easy and that it takes time. So what I say too is, while y'all listening to this, don't think that we just jumped over a hurdle and everything was done and completed the next day. Take steps. You know what I'm saying? A habit is just an action that you continuously do. So you can start slow as you want to. You can start as minimal as you want to, or you can just go all the way in. Whatever your personality is and however you choose to learn these things or adapt to what we're trying to help you out with, go ahead.
I'm really saying to y'all that just so y'all can understand that we really use this shit. Steven and me have been in situations where we have not had a job for months and still maintain our lifestyles because we've done these things while we were getting income in. You know what I'm saying? So, and we definitely cut down on traveling this year. You know what I'm saying? It's just stuff you have to cut out sometimes. You have to cut out on going out to eat, stuff like that. If you have to do it, it's not that big of a deal. You know what I'm saying? But we just want y'all to understand we are practicing this shit. This is not something that we're we went on Google and looked up. No, I am into investing finances and shit like that. I'm into that shit because I have an MBA. It's so interesting. So I read a whole lot of different people's point of views. There's some people that say you should not invest
until your debt is
paid.
Yeah.
One person said, "Fuck, I don't give a fuck about debt. Bitch, I invest all my money." It was only poor people care about debt. You know what I'm saying? So, and then Susie, shit, pay all your shit with your credit cards. Fuck paying your cash. Put your cash up somewhere and pay all this shit with credit cards. You know what I'm saying? So it's a lot of different ways of people telling you about finances is. So this is what from my knowledge and Steven's knowledge on what he knows, this is what works for us, and it actually does work. So
yeah, and some of this stuff actually work for y'all too.
Yeah,
because some of this stuff is just kind of universally. It just depends on how you want to do it. Because I just started investing in stocks about 3 months ago, and people say, hey, before you invest in anything, get all your debt gone. Well, I'm financing a vehicle, and I have student loan debt, and I have a little bit of credit card debt too. But I mean, I just chose to invest too because that money that I make off of my investments can help me pay that stuff back.
Yeah, well, if you use the money that you make on your investments, yeah, you'll get taxed on the money. But if you get taxed on the money that you make off your investments, but if you use it towards something that's tax deductible, then you're not going to get taxed on it.
You kind of saving yourself.
Yeah,
you're making your money, but then when you're paying down your debts, then it's it's working hand in hand.
Right, and so you have to understand that finances are finite. A lot of times, what the information that's out there, it is what it is. You only can invest in these certain things. There's nothing new that has came out. But at the end of the day, what you should invest in and how you shouldn't invest in it changes because we're in 2021 and we have a pandemic that we have never saw before. And these people who are telling us how to invest and budget the way that they're telling us how, they're doing it based off of their generation. Our generation is totally different. We don't have jobs that we had for 50 years.
Right.
We're changing jobs yearly. You know what I'm saying? So the way that we save and budget and stuff is going to be totally different than what they're saying. So like I said, I like to read and to research different types of way of doing things and then apply it to my life and see what works. And that's what we doing.
Yeah, because you will always know, because when you research something, you will see it and then you be like, okay, that resonates with me. So the first thing that we are going to not introduce to y'all, but talk about, speak on, is the budget.
Yes. All right. So I'm probably more of the person who is on that shit a lot. This is something that, like I said, I've sat down and talked to Steven about as well, and it's worked for him too. He has his own household where he's the main breadwinner and he's making sure that shit gets done. It's just getting done. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. So and it's all because you have to budget your shit.
But I gotta say this too. It's financial responsibility, ladies and gentlemen.
But that's budgeting.
It is, but I'm saying it's that finance. It's like being responsible for your finances. Basically, all the things that need like bills. Like you got when we talk about budgeting, y'all, we talking about
bills.
Putting the bills in there. We talking about
the bills.
All right, let's just run it down to what. Let's run it down to them with what should be in their budget.
Alrighty. So this is how you budget. And from what, like I said, from everything I got, this is how we do this shit. You have to be real with yourself. When you budget, you have to write down every single thing that you spend money on every month. And I mean every single thing, from your nails to your hair to your lashes to your gas to your food that you eat out to every fucking thing. Write that shit down. Write it down so you can see it. And then for your bills, I want you to write down everything all your bills and the date that you have to pay that bill. You know what I'm saying? Once you have that whole list down, that is the first step. You cannot do budgeting the right way unless you do it like that. You cannot act like I don't spend $150 on my hair. If you spend $150 on your hair normally every 2 weeks or something like that, you need to put that in there. Don't put $150 for the month when you spend $150 every 2 weeks. Put the amount that you spend correctly on there, including tipping, including all of that. Make sure you put that down, write it down so you can see it. That is the first step.
Yeah. And when we say that, just in case, y'all need some examples, we're talking about car notes. We talking about light bills. We talking about phone bills. And we even talking about gas because that's a bill too.
Haircuts.
Not your gas bill. I'm talking about your gas that you pay for your car.
Tampons.
Yeah.
Detergent. You know what I'm saying?
Grocery,
or you can just put a grocery bill if you want to do that.
Right, groceries.
But girls, we have feminine stuff. Like to be a girl is expensive anyways. We have to buy shit to keep up with being a girl every month. You know what I'm saying? Soap. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Laundry, water, lights, every single thing that you spend money on should be on that piece of paper or however you want to do it.
And
now,
if you don't know, like grocery wise and stuff, just go to. You can go to every place's website, and now you can act like you about to order the food to for pickup or something like that, and just see what your average cost would be. And then after
but you need to, when you do the average cost, like Steven said, make sure you do the highest of that. You really need to.
You want to over budget.
You want to over a little bit. If it's $39, put $45. Just add a couple more dollars to it, and you'll actually see what's going on. But go ahead, what you saying?
Yeah, I'm just saying, like, you gotta break down, everything. Like, if I know that personally, I spend like at least like a month. I probably spend $40 to $60 on gas a month. So I know that I had to put that in my budget monthly, And I have a bi-weekly budget, actually, because I do it every time I get paid. If that works for you, do it. If not, do the monthly. Mm-hmm. But when you're doing the monthly, make sure you put in whatever you make for the month, too.
So that's
Minus
I feel like
taxes.
that's the next
Minus
step,
taxes.
probably, that we should tell y'all.
Yeah.
After you get all of your expenses down on paper, now you need to organize them by the dates. So, like, if you get paid every 2 weeks, like Steven said, you need to make a chart of all of the bills and all the stuff that you have to pay for the first 2 weeks and all the stuff that you have to pay for the second 2 weeks. You need to have that. Then you need to see, then that will tell you how much left of your check you have to do anything with. Because at the end of the day, people were saying you have to pay yourself first. I don't necessarily know about that in our situation because bills are important. Like, if you don't pay your bills, then your credit's going to be fucked up. You can't get, it's so much other stuff. I know from me, the bill thing came because of my grandpa. My grandpa, before he died, he told me so many times, Ariel, you need to pay your bills on time. You can get anything if you pay your bills on time. And that the crazy part about it is,
that's for sure.
These days they have things where you can literally say, if you have a bill that you pay on time every day, you can have some of these companies, or you can have that company tell the creditors that, show them that, send that information to the creditors, and your credit will go off based off of whatever bill you pay on time. So that will go to your credit without you even having a credit card. You know what I'm saying?
True.
So you need to have your bills paid on time.
And
every
I think
month.
that is, speaking of credit, we can just, I'm gonna just slide to that real briefly, because I think that's a what a lot of people think. Like, you need a credit card to build your credit. And I don't, and I think that's
wait, Steve. No, let's not go there yet. Let's stay budgeting.
I'm just saying.
But
we
right
on
though.
budgeting, but I'm just saying, like, that's what.
Oh, you're saying what?
Yeah, I'm just telling everybody out there that that's not the only way to build your credit. Is that you don't have to have a credit card, because that's what we all think. That's the most common way. That's the most common way.
Let's destroy that myth now. It is 2021. They are coming up with different ways for us to increase our credit now, y'all. Like, you do not have to. The only way is not to get a credit card. I mean, that is the easiest way for sure. You know what I'm saying? And if you got somebody that's close to you that's on their shit, and they put you on their shit, then you could definitely do that. You know what I'm saying? And I would say it like this: I would come to somebody who got good credit and be like, "Can you put me on your thing? I don't need no card. I don't really want shit. Like, I just want to be on there. You don't have to give me. I don't need no privileges over your account or nothing like that. Just put me on there, and that would help you a lot. You know what I'm saying? If you want to go the credit route, but like I said, if you paying your bills on time, there are ways for you, or you can really, honestly, to be honest, you can go to the people you're paying, whatever bill you pay on time. Don't go to the motherfucking one you late on every month. Go to the one you pay on time and tell them to report that to the creditors, and your credit will go up. That is the form of credit, because you are showing that you have an obligation to pay, and you are paying it on time every month, and they will do that. So yeah, Steven's right. You don't have to have a credit card every time, but it's definitely. It's definitely something that you definitely. I feel like in order for you to be still, if you want to go towards the rich end, if you want to be rich someday or wealthy, you do need to have credit cards. And so we'll get into that. But Stephen was right. You don't really have to in order to establish credit right now. But that's what all the finance people say that you need. So because it's easier. It's easier and everybody can do it. So yeah, what should you use to budget? So you can use a piece of fucking paper. You can get you a journal, or you can use Excel. So me, I enjoy using Excel. Now y'all probably like Excel. What? The reason it's so easy. It's not that difficult. You can see everything. You can do charts. You can add everything up with just one click. You know what I'm saying?
And we gotta think, like, all y'all gotta do is Google something. And if y'all don't know about it, it'll be out there.
Right. If you have a MacBook, if you have a laptop, you have
iPad,
Excel probably on there already.
Even if you have an iPad, you can go through Word and you can create you a spreadsheet. You know, even out of Word, it might be a little more difficult, but you can look it up, or they have templates. I think it's
called numbers on MacBook.
Okay, they got numbers on the MacBook. It's called
numbers, yeah.
Okay, so but you still have like
then you
templates.
got Google spreadsheet too. So now hold on, y'all
got a Gmail.
Y'all have no fucking excuse now. I forgot about that.
If y'all got a Gmail, it is
free.
Google Sheets. That is
and it's free.
So let y'all know that.
My recommendation for everybody is to use some type of spreadsheet software. That shit is not hard. I swear to God. It's just easier for you to look at it. You don't have to add shit up, because sometimes I be adding shit up, even though I got a master's. I be adding shit up. Shit don't be adding up right. You know, it might look lower than what I think, and I be overspending that month. No, if you have an Excel spreadsheet or a spreadsheet software, period, that shit's gonna add it up correctly, and you're gonna know exactly how much you owe. So that is definitely a tip that we would do. But you can use
paper still,
if you want to.
Right. If you still analog, do your thing. If that helps you process everything better, then go ahead.
But
Do it
just
that way.
know
But
with Google Spreadsheets,
yeah, it's automatic.
with Google Spreadsheets, you can
equations.
see it everywhere. Like if whatever computer you on, if you can't remember and your
Yeah,
phone
you on your
died,
phone.
you got your phone died. You use your son's phone to see how
Right.
much you owe on this bill. You know what I'm saying? You can take it everywhere. So that's why I like spreadsheets. You can be anywhere. You can be on your fucking
You go
probably
to the
on your Apple
library and
Music.
shit.
Yeah, you can
You
be
go to your
you can be at
library.
anybody's house and log into your Gmail and see how much your finances is, so you won't forget. You know, if you know, so that's definitely something I definitely would say. Use a spreadsheet software. It's just easier for you to see, easier for you to add up and stuff. And then it's easier for you to break down into weeks and months, because once you start putting dates in there, you can actually do a thing where you can just automatically put all the dates every 2 weeks that you get paid. And you'll be able to see. You're like, you don't have to go on your calendar and be like, oh, this is 2 weeks and I get paid on that day. No, you
Right.
can literally put in one day, put in another day, and then drag it over, and you'll see all the days you get paid for the entire year. And you girl, you already started planning for your year.
Pretty much.
Or you already started planning for your year. So
And then when you see that, it'll be, and then when you create your budget, it's easier to put other things in your budget. So you'll, and honestly, you might create a budget, and then when you create that budget, you be like, dang, why I got all this extra money? That's where
you be messing up probably.
that's where all your expenses are going, because you spending it on things that you probably don't need. You might be getting some fast food all the time. You might be, but if that's what you want to do, put that in your budget.
You have to.
Put that in the budget.
You have to.
Because it has to be as honest as possible.
If you paying 10 for lunch and 10 for dinner, put $20 a day for 30 days. How much is that? $600 a month?
Yeah.
That's how much you spending.
Yep, and you gotta be honest. 'Cause
on food, nigga.
Being honest with your budget is how you actually see where your money is going, and then that'll let you know where you can cut, where you can cut some things out of your budget. Like, I don't need to do that. I could just buy me a couple of things from Walmart that cost cost $50, and I could eat for a whole week, and I don't have to spend that much money. So then you actually start thinking, and then you have more control over your financials, because now you're thinking on a different level. Like, dang, I'm wasting money.
You're getting to wealth that way. Once you start thinking about that, you're getting to wealth that way, because then you start thinking like, okay, like Steven said, oh, I need to spend this much a week on food. Then you're like, okay, well, I can probably eat better if I go to the grocery store, just plan out my whole food, so I won't have to pay for nothing the whole week. Then you're eating better. You know what I'm saying? And then your mind is getting clearer, your mind is getting better, you're physically getting better, and then you're going to be less depressed.
Right.
It all goes together. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Just doing a little planning, it all goes together, and you can do this shit. Like, yeah, most people got accountants for this. You know what I'm saying? We don't, but they didn't have our people didn't have the technology back then to do it like we can do it. Like, we can do accounting shit now if we want to. They have softwares for accounting that we can do, and it's so easy to fucking use. So you can do this. Like, just write your shit down and just track your shit. Just make sure that you are on it, and make sure that you are honest with yourself, and don't let nobody see your budget. Like, just, what I'm saying, me and Steven, he never, like, when he's doing his budget, I'm doing my budget, I show him the format, the template, but I'm not on his ass, all up in his shit. You know what I'm saying? Because at the end of the day, he's a grown-ass man. And he knows I'm grown, too. We don't need to be in each other's stuff, but at the end of the day, did it work for him? Did it work for me? Yes.
Right.
Because, you know what I'm saying?
And even at the crib now, with me and my woman, she has a budget, I have a budget, and you know what I'm saying? Like, she looks at her budget, and, we calculate our expenses and, liabilities that we have, such as, car payments and things like that.
Yep.
And you got to put in, like I said, you put in your gas, and then you put in everything else that you're going to do, even your groceries.
Yep.
And all, if you like to entertain yourself, your entertainment, and put your subscriptions in there. Put your subscriptions in there. Like, I
was going to say before Steven said that, that's a lot, but it's like me, I do that a lot. I assume people know shit. No, he's right. You need to put that in there.
If you go to the gym still, put that gym membership in there.
Everything.
It's gonna come out.
Apple Music,
Apple Music,
Netflix, Prime.
Yeah.
That needs to be on your budget.
Disney Plus, ESPN
Disney Plus, everything needs to be there. You need to see what you are doing.
See where your money is going, and you can see when you see where your money is going, you can better maneuver. You know, because then you like, now I know I'm spending this on this, this, and that. So now I know that I could take money from this and put it somewhere else. Then that's when you start investing.
Yep.
When you think you're like, I'm just spending money frivolously. Okay, so now I could just actually invest it. So now I got this much money, this many dollars that I just be wasting away that can go towards investing, or they can go towards something like if you want to take a trip, or they can go towards something like if you want to save some money, or whatever you really want to do that you're not doing, that you don't think you have enough money to do.
And then so I'm gonna try to remember what I'm about to say, but anyways, I'm gonna go back to so first thing, like we said, first thing you need to do, write down every single thing you spend your money on. Then you break it up into your pay period. So if you get paid weekly, break it up by the week on each date that you have to pay something. So let's say you have to pay your rent on the 1st, and you get paid on the 1st is on a Tuesday. So you start that previous Sunday until the next Sunday. That is a whole entire week. So that week, if you get paid on Friday, you need to, I guess you would have to.
If you get paid the Friday before. Yeah,
okay.
Friday before.
So if you pay your rent on Wednesday and it's the 1st, that your rent should be on the week prior's budget. Not this week. You should be on the week prior. And you need to pay your rent the week prior. So if you get paid Friday, you need to pay your rent on Friday. But when the 1st comes, you ain't thinking about no damn rent.
Right,
you paid your rent early.
It's already
and
paid.
So when you pay your bills early and on a time, then when you have a problem, like we always do, and this is something that me and Steven talked about a lot, there are going to be issues in your life. You're never going to be on top forever. We're not rich. You're going to fall. So when you fall, the people who you owe your bills to, they're going to be understanding because, you've paid your bills on time every fucking month for the entire time that we've had a contract together. Right. So you need help during COVID right now. You need an extra day, an extra week, an extra month to pay. That's completely okay it's because we know that you're good for it. You know what I'm saying? When your credit is right, when you're paying your shit on time, then people don't have a problem with helping you out. And that's something that you need to understand. So like I said, write your stuff down, break it off into weeks. Pay things on time earlier. So if something's due the week after, you need to put it on your budget to get it paid the week before.
Or the check before.
Yes. If it's due the check after, it needs to be on the check before. Everything should be a pay period before it's supposed to be due. Right. Everything should be a pay period before it's supposed to be due. So you should be paying
everything weeks or either a week or either a week or two in advance or at least some days in advance. Because it takes less stress off of you too.
Oh my God, yeah.
Money is stressful when you don't have a lot, especially. Because most of us, like Ariel said, we're not rich, so you have to maintain your money, and even when you get a little bit more money, still maintain your money right. Still keep a budget, because that little money that little bit more money that you're getting, you would waste that money if you don't properly allocate that money.
Yep. So like I said, just make sure everything is early. Pay that shit earlier, okay? There's going to be, when you start doing this, there's going to be a rough month, okay? And I'm going to be honest with y'all. You're going to have to double pay shit. So just make sure you make sure that month is is budgeted correctly. Yeah. Because that's going to be a month where you can't do too much. You know what I'm saying? And, for me, I've definitely had those. It's definitely the beginning of you getting your budget back on track. You're going to have to pay probably double because you need, like I said, in order for this to work, you need to be paying shit earlier. Okay? You need to make sure that you're standing with your bills and your creditors are on point. Okay? So that's what we have for budgeting. Our shit is paid earlier. It is paid on time. We budget for the weeks the pay period before. So everything that we're supposed to pay the pay period after, we pay pay period before, and we're early on everything. Every time we've ever had, we've ended a contract with a phone company, we've ended a contract with an internet company, we get a credit. They send us a check because we've paid amount. So that's another thing that I didn't say. So when you have a certain amount, let's say you have a certain amount that you're going to pay for, let me see, your lights. So you're saying your lights are normally somewhere between $100 and $200.
Yeah.
So you're saying, so me and Steven would budget our lights for $200, and every time we get a bill, regardless if it's $100 or $200, we pay $200. That's what we pay every time. We don't go around it, outside of it. And let me tell you what happens when you do that. When you have, let's say it's a weird time where you've had a $220 light bill. Well, you've been paying $200 every month. So you really in the red, you got a credit. So you're
Right,
not,
yeah.
that's nothing. You don't have to come out of your budget anywhere else to get that extra 20. You've already put it in there because you've budgeted for a set amount and you've paid it on time every month. And like I said, when we moved, me and Steve moved out of the old apartment, we had a credit for all of our bills except for our rent because they were just mad. But we had a credit for everything else. We got checks for that. So
Yeah.
if you pay just have a set payment and make sure it's the highest for each one of your bills. Like I said, if it's normally between 100 and 200, budget 200, pay 200 every time.
Yeah, and we saying that for y'all, for those of y'all who can, because I know we all can't, but if you can, do it because it'll help you out. Like, have your money save you. Let your money save you. And speaking of savings,
oh wait a minute, one more thing.
What you
when you do it that way, it prevents a whole lot of issues for you as well. Like I said, you don't have to worry about getting behind. You don't have to worry about you don't worry about falling back.
And in the event,
I was saying that too. Oh yeah, it's because shit's gonna happen. Your car gonna fuck up, something like that.
Something. You're gonna need a new tire.
Dang, I almost lost it.
What was it?
Fuck. Okay, so I was saying, I don't know. I was saying, go ahead, Steven. Say what you were saying.
Yeah, because I'm saying like,
I think I lost it.
when you pay ahead, sometimes, that helps you out because when all of a sudden things like, okay, you catch a flat tire, you need some brakes, somebody, in your family might need some help, or you might lose your job. So when those things come up, it helps you on that way too, because now you're like, oh, wait a minute. Now I have that extra cushion in there so I can afford other things now.
Yeah. Okay, so what I was about to say is we're gonna, and this is how we're gonna end the budget part off.
Yeah.
Once you do your budget the way we're telling you guys to do it, you can see if you can afford the lifestyle that you have.
Yeah.
You gonna see if you really can afford the type of lifestyle that you have. Like, can you afford all of the things? Can you afford to live the way you living right now? It's going to show you that, and it's going to. And then, like I said, when rich people do this, that other things happen. Once you find out if you can afford your lifestyle, you're going to look at you're going to look at your job then and be like, nigga, I need a better lifestyle, so I need to get a better job. I need to find ways to get a better. What do I have to do to get me a better job? What do I have to do to get more income?
Money. Yeah. And
so once you have that is going to, like, once you do this little thing, this budgeting, you are going to it's going to open your life to so many possibilities, and it's going to make your life better. You know what I'm saying? So you need to do this.
Yeah, just budget so you can be on top of your funds.
Okay, so wait, before Steven says savings, right? I put on here, I want to go over this briefly, a bank account versus a cash management account. I don't fuck with bank accounts. I do, but I don't. I have a bank account. He called me too anyways. Okay. I had a bank account. I do still have a bank account, and bank accounts are good because if you need a house and you need like loans, then they can see that you've had a bank account in good standing for 7+ years or whatever the fuck. So yeah, maybe you do need a bank account, but I don't do my banking through my bank account. I use a cash management account. The difference between a cash management account and a bank account is that they invest your money that's in there, and then you get money, you get return on your investment on the money that you have in there. So let's say you have $500 just sitting in your bank account or your checking account. They're not investing none of that. You just have that sitting there so that it's ready for you to spend whenever you want to. With your cash management account, it's sitting in there, but they'll take it and they'll give a big company like overnight loan, and then they'll use some of your money with it, and then when you wake up, you'll have a couple of extra dollars in your account. And it happens, I think they do it either weekly or daily or monthly or something like that. You get a return daily, or sometimes daily, sometimes monthly. So with a checking account, you never get a return, and with a savings account, you get a low return. So I always say do cash management accounts. You can get free ATMs anywhere you're at. You can, a lot of times they're online, but I don't care. I don't care about going in to see a banking person. Never have. But it's free. You know what I'm saying? You start to once you start to have that, you start to get into investing, because you're looking at, because this is kind of an investment account. It's just like a checking. You can get your money out whenever you want. It's available whenever you want, whenever you need it. But like I said, it's the money, you're making money off of your money that's in there. So I always feel like that is the way to go if you can. I would definitely keep my bank account open and keep as much as they gonna fucking invest in you, which is 0.1 cent or some shit.
Yeah,
have $5 in that shit to keep it open. But and if they make you pay monthly, if they make you pay something monthly to keep it open, close that shit. Fuck them. So you need to keep your bank account open. Just use it. Try to like pay bills out of it. Direct deposit bills out of it when you can. But you don't need to be banking primarily with the bank. You need to be with a cash management account. And if you need help finding that, just Google top cash management accounts. I use Fidelity. It's been great with me. Steven, I think you use Fidelity now.
Yeah, I use Fidelity.
And it's been great with him. You get a ATM card. You get everything that you can use your debit card for wherever you need. Same thing. It's just a better way of doing it.
Yeah, just look into it, Sometimes you don't think that it's a resource, but it will be. Yeah,
when I'm in a different country and I'm trying to get money out my ATM, that shit's high as fuck, but that shit is free.
Yeah, you don't get the ATM fees that they normally charge you.
Nope. So if you go to Chase and you're banking with Fidelity, they can't charge you. They gonna charge you $4, but Fidelity gonna put that shit right back in your account.
Yeah.
So I think that you should do that. So I'll stop there.
Definitely. And then let's talk about. Okay, we talked to y'all about budgeting. Now let's discuss savings.
So I'm glad we did budgeting, and we took a while on that, because we need y'all to understand that in order for you to get some money for real, you got to start budgeting, because that's going to start your accountability, and it's going to start your, what's it called? Accountability. And
you talking about credit history? You
talking
about budgeting?
Yeah, it's gonna make you have accountability,
awareness
and
financial responsibility.
Not restraint, but like, how what.
So you talking about?
Okay, so what I was trying to say was, we had to get off of here real quick so I could figure it out. But yeah, self-control. If you don't have any self-control, then you can't save and you can't invest. And then if you're not interested in what your finances are doing, you're not going to be a good investor. You're not going to be a good saver. So we had to start there and get y'all ready to do the rest of this stuff, or you are not making it finance. Okay, let's get it, Steven. Savings.
Yep. So, savings, I say that depends on the person, man. What I tell y'all is, I'm not going to say specifically, they have the, what is it called, 30, 40, 60 or something, little things like that.
Pay yourself or something, yeah.
Yeah, they say like, pay yourself, save a certain amount, and a certain amount should go to the bills. If you don't have that, you don't have to do all of that. I'd say this, after you pay your bills, and I'm not going to necessarily say not to pay yourself. I just say that, if you feel like doing something nice for yourself, that check, it doesn't have to be anything big. You know, you could do something, you know, oh, okay, you like to get your hair cut. That could be something nice that you do for yourself. Like to get a pedicure, manicure. You
Right,
like to
because
go out to
let's
eat.
think about it. Like if you're like financially great, you know what I'm saying? Nobody gives a fuck. Like I'm like, oh, you're top tier because you know how to. You saved a lot of money. Like nobody's
Yeah.
like
Nah.
the majority of Americans don't save money like that. You know what I'm
Hell
saying?
no.
So it's
They say like in our age range, motherfuckers don't even
I
be
think it's
say,
like 90% of Americans don't have
even
$1,000 in their bank account or
they don't
something
even
like that.
save. Like they might have
Yeah.
money
Oh,
in
they
their
don't
bank
save a
account.
thousand.
Yeah,
Yeah.
but they don't have like a savings account
Yeah,
or
they don't
something
have a
like that
thousand in
with
their savings.
$1,000.
Like no, like so it's like if you like motherfuckers be like, oh, I'm paying. They paid off all their student loans and stuff, and they're they're saving money and blah blah. It's like at the end of the day, y'all still living like us. So what really are you? What really have you done except for like cut out 2, 3, 4 years of your life of happiness and joy to fucking be financially responsible to look good for who?
Right. But what I will say, I mean,
When we having like Democratic presidents saying that they might erase this shit. Nigga,
Yeah.
I'm gonna hold off until somebody do some shit. Fuck what you
but
talk about.
But I say it's up to you. If that makes you happy, go ahead, keep doing it. You know, because if that make you, you know, not spend no stupid ass money, well, save your money.
All right.
I say that you should
Yeah,
save.
I think you should. I'm not
I think
gonna
you
lie,
should save
I say
every
you should.
check if you can. Save something from every check.
Okay, so what? Okay, so my thing is, and from what everything that I've learned on saving, the only thing you really should be saving is an emergency fund. Everything else, fuck that. You don't need to be saving nothing else. Everything else needs to go in investing. You should not be saving anything except for a emergency fund. And motherfuckers say 3 to 6 months. And then Susie Orman, I just was listening. I mean, read something about her.
Mm-hmm.
I love her. She said save more because of the pandemic, like because people are losing their jobs. She was like, you need to probably be trying to save up a year. You know what I'm saying? Right. And I know that's probably difficult, but
when you're financially irresponsible, it's difficult. Yeah. Like the majority of us are.
Okay, so an emergency fund, if you don't know, it's a month. Emergency fund is a fund where you can get money out in order to pay your bills when you have an emergency. Okay. For any emergency, but they base it off of how much that you all paying your bills all together each month. So that is why we are stressing budgeting, because if you don't know how much you're spending every month, then you're not going to know how much to save in your emergency fund. You don't know how much 3 to 6 months of your fucking
bills cost if you don't have a budget.
So there's no way you can get any fucking where in this. I want to keep stressing this. Y'all can't go anywhere unless y'all know how much y'all spending first. So the emergency fund is 3 to 6 months of what you spend on all your bills each month. That is it. Now for me, my emergency fund, what I do is put everything that I spend on bills and my lifestyle in there too. So I don't just put bill money in my emergency fund. I put my lifestyle money. So if all my bills this month equals $1,000 and I get turned up on an extra $500 a month, then I'm putting $1,500 a month in my shit. I'm not going to put $1,000. You know what I'm saying? And that helps with other emergencies that come up as well. Like it might be something wrong with your car. You know what I'm saying?
Cars are expensive to fix.
I'm saying though, so if you put an extra $500 in your emergency fund on top of what your bills are, then you can, if some emergency happen, you ain't gonna be like, damn, I ain't got money for my bills, I gotta pay my car payment. You know what I'm saying? I don't think your emergency fund should just be the bills for that month. It should be some more extra on top of that. I wouldn't say two times that amount each month. If you can, okay. I would say make your emergency fund your living fund. So whatever from your budget, in order for you to have a good time and not be depressed, that is the amount you should be saving per month. So 3 months. So that month times 3 is what you should be putting in your emergency fund. And that's all you should be fucking saving.
And I should say at the least, you know what I'm saying, if you, because it's going to be new to start off with. So everything's about to be new, and you might already be doing this, but I'm saying that this is new to you. When you saving money for an emergency fund, I mean, think about, all right, a month first, you know what I'm saying, and then build off of that. Okay, do I have a month, Or you could even go, do I have, if I lost my job now, could I survive for a week? Okay. Then after you can survive for a week, then 2 weeks, and then 3 weeks, and then okay, now you got your month, and then keep going from there. It's not. And then when don't get tempted, because when you see that money, you're gonna start seeing that money pile up, and you're gonna have it in your account. You're gonna be like, don't spend it on nothing stupid, or you're gonna be back to square one.
Yes, so this is where I come in, where I say that you should put your savings in the actual savings, because with the actual savings, you can only take out of there three times a month in there and close your shit because you're on some bullshit. And you can also have a savings where they don't let you take nothing out, so you got to go through a bank person in order for you to get your money out. Because if you don't have that much self-control, like a lot of us don't, I'm not going to act like everybody just got so much control over their lives. Like, that's so annoying. You need help to save your shit, so put it in something where it's locked down, where it's like, I gotta go through this hoop to get it out. So you can't just transfer that shit over to your checking, because
it'll make
scary.
you think. It'll make you think when you put them restrictions on your shit. It'll make you think.
Yeah.
But I was just a person that shit. It made me think anyway, because even though one of the accounts that I had, it was linked to it. I mean, I had a checking and a savings in at the same bank institution, but it was still like, I would think about it. I'm like, damn, I'm actually touching my savings. Like, do I want to do that? Like, because while I'm doing it, I'm like, damn, do I have to do that? And if I don't, I'll just be like, I ain't going to do it. Like, if it's something to where, all right, all my bills is paid and I done done what I wanted to do for myself, and now it's just, I don't really need that extra money that I'm spending on BS. I don't really need it. I don't need to do it. It's just unnecessary. Why am I doing it? I don't know, for temporary satisfaction.
Right.
Don't do it.
Yeah.
Because you're going to feel better when that money in your pocket at the end of the month, or if you lose your job and you got 2 or 3 months saved up, and you can comfortably job search. When you can comfortably job search, then it's different. You won't just be accepting anything, or you won't just be investing your money into anything as well. So
yeah. So like I said, savings, the only thing you should have in there is your emergency fund. And I would say, I used to work in IT, and I worked with a lot of white men who told me that they have fucking money, where that means that if they want to leave this fucking job, they got money saved, to buku money saved, that they can just live off of, because they don't want to work somewhere that they don't need to. You know what I'm saying? A lot of times we get stuck in these jobs because we don't have no money. So once you start doing your emergency fund, then that will definitely help you out. And like I said, if you don't do it in a savings account, you can do it in your emergency fund somewhere else, and we're going to talk about that later. But if you want to have anything to do with savings account, it should only be in emergency fund in a savings account, and that is it. Fuck saving like that, because saving is not going to get you anywhere, because they don't give you a lot of money on return on your savings. They give you 1% a year. Divide that by 1%, nigga. 1% is what? 1% of your money. If you have $100 in there all year, you only getting $1 back at the end of the year, and you had that $100 in there the whole year.
But that's if you don't touch that money. Yeah, right. If you touch that shit,
money, you ain't getting nothing.
Nah. So you'd be like, you touched it.
So
you broke the rules.
Savings ain't it. The only reason why savings is good is because it's liquid. Liquid means that you can go get it out real quick. You can get it out now. It's just like a checking. The checking is liquid. You can get it out right now. So that's why that's why savings is still even around. It's really, savings is only around because people don't know what the fuck going on. Because really, it's probably gonna be gone a while, but
because it's more, especially
there's so much other shit you can do.
You can have digital currency now.
Yeah, you can have it in your cash management account. You can have a cash management account for your savings, your emergency fund, and that'll make you way more money than will be in your savings account. That's really
how that's investing.
So from our tip is put it in a cash management account.
Yeah, look into cash management accounts and look into different.
It might be hard. Well, they'll let you open up 2 different cash management accounts. You can have one for that shit. The fuck?
Yeah, just think about it. Do some research. Some of the stuff that we're telling y'all gonna have to do some research on. And I mean, y'all be happier after y'all do the research, because then y'all be like, actually, and just look that up. Like, just look savings versus cash management account, and they'll show you the benefits, and they'll show you.
Up and ask someone to help y'all.
Yeah, that too. I mean, we'll help y'all, or like I say, you feel me? Me helping you helps myself.
Right. So we answered the question: should you save? Yes. What should you save? Emergency fund. How much should you save? 6 months at least. And how do you get there? You need to look at your fucking budget, and based off of what you got left, you need to be saving half of that. Really, keep it 100. After you pay all your bills, you need to save half of what you got left, and that needs to go to your emergency fund to keep it 100. If not, save a third.
Right.
And then, cause really, you ain't spending that extra money on nothing that even matter, cause you paid your bills. So what else are you spending your money on? Bullshit. If you put your food, your gas, everything else in there, and you got money left, you need to put half of that into your savings, and then you can clown with the other half. But just taking all of that and clowning with it is ignorant as fuck, and you need to quit doing that shit.
Yeah, and you'll feel better when you have that money in the bank. Don't choose temporary satisfaction over a safety net.
I mean, nigga, if half of what you got left is $100, nigga, then you just gonna have to do $100 ass activity. You can't buy a table, or if you buy a table, you got to go in with somebody else to get a table at the club. You can't just buy your own tables no more.
And then if you figure out, okay, well, I'm not making enough money, then that's when you
gotta get
find
some more
a better
money.
Job and get a skill, improve your skill set, or get another skill, or like you said, what'd you say?
A hustle.
A hustle. Get a hustle. You know what I'm saying?
Because everybody good at something.
You always good at something, and people will pay for your talent.
You will be surprised what people pay for. Like this is the age. This is the age of service. Yes. So people want you to do things for them. Like you could literally, like if you know how to
clean people's shoes.
If you know how to type up a paper, you could have somebody just talk on the phone, like voice record themselves, and you can type their paper out, and they'll give you $100.
Definitely.
Like it's not, you can do shit, And
they give you their rough draft, and then just have you rewrite their draft, like write a better version of their paper already. Like that's whatever you feel like you can do, there's somebody out here that needs it done for them.
Right. Okay, next, we're going to the investments, and this is the last portion because we don't want to go too far. So for investments, I'm gonna go into 401k versus IRA, and then Steven can go in he can go stocks. He's a stock dude.
Yeah, I've been investing in the stocks, and I've been getting into that. So,
and then I'll talk about REITs.
Yes.
So 401k versus IRA. 401k is normally what your employer offers you to put your money into in order for they're both retirement accounts. You're supposed to get them out once you turn whatever the retirement age for the country is at the time. And I think it's like 60 something, right? 62 maybe.
I think it might be 59 and a
really?
half now. It's either late 50s or early 60s now.
Okay, so. Probably. I don't know. I got a little confused on that because my grandmother had me help her with Social Security, and it might be different ages. I don't know, but like it's based. I believe it's based off of life expectancy or something.
Yeah, it's a lot of different.
So
they determine it different ways. You just have to see, and
So 401k and IRA are retirement accounts. 401k normally goes through your company, and so what happens is they take a portion out of your check and then they put it into your 401k, so savings account. And what that is basically everybody in your company, they have their own savings fund, and then that fund is invested into a whole bunch of different things, and then brings on some type of return. A lot of times, if you have a big company, you'll get some stocks in that company as well, and if that company's doing well, then your 401k will be doing well. If your company's not that huge, you'll still have a 401k fund, but you'll probably be putting it in other companies, you know what I'm saying? So that's what they do with your 401k money. With an IRA, that's normally done outside of your company. I think that some companies do offer IRAs, but the difference between the two is that the IRA, you have to put it in there after you get paid. When you get paid, before your tax, you contribute to your 401k, so it's not taxed. And so that is why when you try to get money out for your 401k, you have so many fees. You have a percentage that you have to get back because you have not got taxed on that yet. And that's why people like IRAs, because you don't get taxed on money you take out of your IRA because you already got taxed on that. But still, you also have already agreed that you will not take that money out your IRA to a certain age. So you do have a small fee, but it's not a small fee in a percentage. It's just this fee. So that's just up to you what you want to do. Our recommendation, me and Steven's recommendation, is to do an IRA.
Yes,
because it's for a lot of good reasons.
But also, what the benefit of a IRA is, you can, whatever account that you have, whatever entity that you're using to fund your IRA with, then you could also create a rollover IRA. And if you have a 401k plan with a company, then you can choose to roll that over to your rollover IRA. And so you can have those funds. So say you depart with a company after 10 years or so, after 5 years, or even after months of getting that 401k benefit, then you have a rollover account to where, okay, so all my money is going to roll over from that account that they created into an account that I have now. And once you do that, then, since your money's no longer tied to them, you still have access to your money. It don't just evaporate.
Right, exactly. So there you go.
Because I've actually done that myself.
Yes. So IRAs, IRA is definitely another place where you can put your emergency fund. If you want to make money if you want your emergency fund to make money quicker, and you're putting money in there, you can definitely invest it into your IRA. Just know when you about to take it out, if you need it, it's going to be a small fee, but it doesn't matter because you've made so much fucking money throughout the times that you had it in there that little fee is not going to even matter. And that fee is probably going to contribute to money that you money that you passive income that you actually just got just by keeping your money in this account. You know what I'm saying? So it might be that $100 that you didn't actually, that's not your actual $100. Right, that's the actual $100. I mean, it's your $100 because you fucking earned it because you invested it correctly, but you didn't actually put your 100 in there. Right. And so a lot of times investors try to make sure that you look at it like this is all my money, because they don't want to lose none of it, even the money that they made. But it helps a little bit if you know that, okay, I put my emergency fund in here. I gotta pay this fee, but the fee is money that I just made by keeping it in here. It makes you feel better about getting it out. So
definitely, it's
up to you. You put it in a savings, or you can put it in a cash manager, or you can put an IRA. The best place to get your money is probably putting it in an IRA if you want to do it longer term. If you worried about your job and stuff, it's just okay. So based off of time, if you worried about your job, our recommendation is to put it in your cash management account. If you're not necessarily worried, you think, I've had this job for at least another year, go ahead, throw it in the IRA, and then make sure you just contribute to it like you're supposed to. Okay, so that is what we right. recommend. And then for your retirement, you definitely should do an IRA too. So.
Yeah, I'm about to say definitely the IRA, because you can create your own IRA. That's what it is. It's an individual retirement account.
You can take loans out of there, like once you if you need to get a house.
Your first house, right?
Yeah.
It's only on your first house, like you can take, loans out. So if you've been saving for a decade and you're like, all right, I want to buy a house now, or if you've been saving for some years and you're like, I want to buy a house. It's my first time buying a house. You can take a loan out.
And it's going to look so good on your paperwork that you have an IRA with that much money in it.
Right.
You have accounts. You have a bank account that you've had for years. That's why I told you guys not to get rid of your bank account. No matter how much money in there, you got it in there. And then once it's time for you to get your home loan or whatever, you can throw some money in there so it can look like you got some money in your bank account. It's not a big deal. And then you have your cash. You got a cash management account. You got an investment. Or you got an IRA account. Like they're like, okay, you know what the fuck you doing.
You financially responsible.
And you paying your bills on time. Which can you not get, baby?
We like you.
You can get what you want, baby. So yeah, that's definitely that's our recommendations for 401k versus IRA. So now we're going to stocks versus bonds, Steven.
Yes, stocks versus bonds. So let's say, here we go, the intro to stocks. So a stock is a partial ownership of a company. The piece of the company that you own is referred to as a share. and companies usually use stocks to raise funds. So, some of these companies, the companies that I'm talking about that you can invest your money into, the account that you use for your investment is called a brokerage account. So that's how that's an investment account that allows you to buy and sell financial assets such as stocks, bonds, mutual funds, and EFTs. Example of some companies that allow you to do that are Charles Schwab, TD Ameritrade, Fidelity, and Robinhood. Robinhood's getting a lot of flack right now because of the recent stunt that they just pulled. So I like the app because it's a beginner's app. It's a good for a beginner's app, but Fidelity is also a great one. And what I would say about Fidelity is I do have my IRA account with them as well. So um that's definitely a great institution as well. But I know a lot of people like TD Ameritrade and Charles
Oh
Schwab
yeah,
too.
yeah.
So those are like real popular ones
Mhm.
as well. But I know, like I said, like Robinhood, I mean, they did do that BS just recently, but the people that they were with actually probably were part of that
Yeah.
contribution.
Yeah. So what really happened was what happens in the stock market is um basically if a lot of people buy a stock, the stock prices will go up for it because it's worth more, because a lot of people are feeling like this stock is worth a lot of money. So the value goes up. And so what a lot of people did, who like smart young people, was like, and just what the millionaires do, we're all going to put our money into one stock and get it higher. And then some of us can go ahead and cash out, pay our bills, what we need. We're going to keep, and then some of us are going to keep our money in there. And then some more of us are going to go ahead and put some money in, and then we can take it out. Some of us will take it out. You know what I'm saying? So they're just doing what the rich people do. So they were just basically working all together to get a stock that they knew was going to nobody cared about, which is GameStop, because it's going out of business, and just doing what they can to make money off of that stock and for everybody else, and basically sharing. And the crazy part is that the app is called Robinhood, and Robinhood takes from the rich and give to the poor, and that's exactly what the GameStop thing was. There was a lot of reports of a lot of people being able to pay a lot of different bills and get food for the week and all that stuff off of what they did that day.
And it was a
So,
gentleman,
and it's crazy that they shut it
an
down. Like, your
investment.
app is supposed to be for that.
But
Whatever.
I did some research on that, and key reason why they shut it down is because this company called Citadel. They they have multiple different things under their umbrella, but it's a hedge fund and it's a security account. So securities are like stocks and bonds and things of that nature. So they are tied to Robinhood, and they are one of Robinhood's biggest investors. So what they were doing is they were saying, basically, they were betting that, what a lot of these big companies do that fund these brokerage accounts such as Robinhood, Fidelity, and things of that nature, they say, hey, I see this stock this has a history that it's going to go down. Just keep going down, just keep going down. So what they do is bet against that. They say, okay, I know this stock is about to go down, so I'm going to keep betting that it's going to go down. So with me keep betting that it's going to go down, I'm going to get money off of that, because it's like, oh, okay, I know that it's going to go down, so I might buy some and then say that, okay, it's going to go down, and I sell it. It's called, what they call it, short selling or something like that.
Yep.
So they borrow these shares from these companies and then pay them back with the money that they get off of saying that it's going to go down. So then if they're funding that company with that money, then they're like, hey, too many people getting off on this. Too many people getting money off of this.
Right. So if they start taking that money and start doing something with it, and the money just like, you know what I'm saying, the value disappears, then they're going to be in debt like a motherfucker. They're going to go out of business immediately. So they really can't even do nothing with the money that they just made. All of the money that they just made is strictly for the people who put in on that stock. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And that's not what it's for.
Definitely.
They like, oh,
Definitely.
absolutely the fuck
Like, wait a
not.
minute, crash. We're gonna stop this because and then the CEO came on the news and said some BS. You know, some stuff to try to cover his save face, basically to try to save face. But I mean, if you do a little research, you know what it really is.
Yeah. So
But stocks, like I say, stocks can be beneficial. They have been beneficial for me. I'm getting better and better at this. So if you want to know a little bit more about stocks, y'all can reach out to us because I mean we do this. We have invested. The thing is to invest in what I tell people before you even start investing in anything, whether it be real estate, whether it be you being an investor in somebody else's company, and specifically with stocks, know why you want to invest, know what you want to get from your investment, know about the companies that you're investing in, and know what type of return and what type of investor you want to be. So specifically on the stock market, I want to say, like, you have to look at a company, and it's a bunch of numbers and a bunch of algorithms that you can put together. But I want you to know these things about a company. Do you know anything about that company? How long has this company been around? Is this a profitable business? Do you see this business being here
a lot
in the years?
He's investing. He's a smart investor. Let's keep it 100. My finance teacher, he was teaching us how to invest, and he told us to invest the same way Steven's telling us to when we go into stocks. He was like, but I don't do that.
Yeah.
He's gambling. He said he was basically gambling. So when you go into the stock market and you're doing that type of money making or that type of investments, you got to know that shit's risky. Okay?
For sure. I'm talking about if you want to just make some money and you want to make it right. Yeah. If you want to be a long time investor or a short term investor, like I'm saying, like short term would be a month or 2 or 3. I'm just telling y'all because y'all starting to get started. So to get started and to make some money, invest in companies that you know are undervalued and will continue to be here for a while.
It's not a huge gamble because you have knowledge that you can obtain. Yeah. But once you go in without that knowledge and you're just going off of feelings, and that's more so what the stock market does a lot of times, and that's when you get problems. You know what I'm saying? But if you invest like Steven is saying, like if you really pay attention to what's going on, then you will be successful. Like,
definitely. And like I said, I mean, some things are a gamble too, but you got to take risks. You got to take calculated risks. Like the AMC, I got a little money off of that. Like, cause I seen that there was hype. Okay, so I say the market is its own entity. The market kind of acts like, kind of has its own reactions. Kind of like not a person, but it is a thing. So you gotta think. A lot of times news drives the stock up. News can definitely drive a stock up one way or another. So say that something comes out about Apple, and now, well, I'm gonna just tell y'all the truth. Like Apple just said that they might start investing in electric vehicles. Okay, now they're gonna start investing in electric vehicles. Okay, so we know that Apple stock is at I think it's like last time I checked, it was $130. So it's at $130. It's a pretty good company. It's at $130. Not bad for as big of a company as Apple is. But if they say they about to invest in electric vehicles, and now electric vehicles that's more of the push of the country, just think about it. Okay, so vehicles, Apple, if Apple does it, it's going to be something extravagant. So if they're going to invest in vehicles, maybe their stock might go up since electric vehicles are getting more popular and more people going to be having electric vehicles as we go on. Stock that'll be a stock that you invest in long term because they're going to be here for a while, and so you're going to get money off of buying that stock at a cheaper price. So and what I will say too is sometimes things are undervalued because everybody panics. Like right now it's a pandemic, and I've gotten a few things on sale, like Macy's. I had got Macy's on sale. I made a little money off of Macy's because after they quarterly earnings last quarter, and quarterly earnings, it's 4 quarters. 4 quarters make $1, 4 quarters make a year. So they quarterly earnings for the fourth quarter, which was the holidays last year in 2020. Of course, with the online e-commerce, the online shopping, they profit skyrocketed. So I was like, okay, let me see. Macy's is pretty cheap right now, and I compared how the price of Macy's to when before the pandemic and during the pandemic. So I was like, okay, they're a little cheaper right now. So I bought Macy's, and I knew that they was going grow. So they grew substantially. And I got my profit, and I sold. I sold my shares. I mean, I could have kept them for maybe if, but Macy's is a little iffy right now, so I took my profit and I ran. Because I mean, that was a risk in itself. But I knew that they was getting money last quarter.
That's
so
one thing about stocks that you guys have to understand is that in order for you to be a good investor, like for me, just reading about the things that Warren Buffett says, he's one of the richest people in the world because of the stock market. Is that you need to sell when it's high. Like you don't need to. You don't need to sell. You don't need to like keep it like, oh, it might go up longer. No, nigga, when that shit start getting high, you need to let it go. That's when you need to sell it. You don't need to sell it when it. You know what I'm saying? You don't need to hop on when it get high. You need to hop off when it get high.
Definitely.
Once your company, you think like if it's Nike and they're like Colin Kaepernick commercial came on and then their stocks just plummeted. That is when you're supposed to buy the stock. You're supposed to buy stocks when they fucking like when companies when the news are like, oh my god, this company's so trash, and then so really you need to buy the stocks when they say like it's when their stock prices go down because of some emotional ass shit.
Yes,
you know what I'm saying? It's like, oh, Black Lives Matter. You support Black Lives Matter, so the stock went down. That's when you need to buy the shit. Buy it. Because people are going to change their minds. You know what I'm saying? People going to get over it. Something else going to come up. That stock going to go up. Right. And then, like, if they say Black Lives Matter, like I know with Nike, we did research on this in school. They said that when they released the Colin Kaepernick commercial, the stock price went down low. You know what I'm saying? But throughout the weekend, Nike's biggest customer is African Americans. Mm-hmm. So they started buying the fuck out of like Nike. They started buying the fuck out, like over the weekend. And then so that Monday, Nike's stock prices went up. So everybody who bought their stock on that Friday when they released that commercial, that Monday they got hella money. You know what I'm saying? So it's stuff like that you gotta watch. And so in order for you to be a good one, you have to pay attention to what's going on in the news and stuff like that. So one tip for me and Steven would be to on your Twitter, on your Facebook, on your Instagram, start following news, start following stock stuff, start following stuff like just start following the news and like businesses, Wall Street, Business Week, just follow like business stuff and then tech stuff and environmental stuff, and then you'll start just already knowing what's going on.
One thing I could say too is to go to Yahoo Finance. Yahoo Finance is another place that you can just see, continuous news on all these companies. Like you can type in a company, you could type in Apple, you could type in Starbucks, you can type in Nike, and you can look up, okay, what they got going on, what's going on with them. And like, you don't have to be a genius on how to read the stock charts and everything, but if you see a company, and you gotta think, like right now is a pandemic, so if you see a company down right now, but normally like airlines, let me give y'all one. Ooh. Airlines, it might kind of be late for the airlines because they started going up. I was researching them a little while back, but because I made some money off of Delta Airlines. But American Airlines might be another one that you can still see some potential growth on. But yeah, I had invested like 2 shares I bought 2 shares of Delta Airlines when it was like $20, and then now it's up at like $39, and I had sold it as soon as it got up because I didn't really care about Delta Airlines,
Lit.
so I didn't care about the airlines.
He's clowning, y'all.
So, but the thing is, to buy whole shares, when you buy whole shares, you get the whole profit off of it.
Yep.
So, you can start as little as you want to or as high as you want to. Just know that there's a risk involved, but when you take calculated risk, it's really nothing. We research, how to freaking make beats and how to make clothes or how to draw or how to do this and that. If you can research on that. You got more time in the day than you think about. Get out that social media as much, and then get on that.
It's hard though, and so I would say like to merge you into getting into that. Like I said, put some stuff on your timeline. Start following shit so you can just see it come on your timeline. And once you know how you go through your timeline, you just reading it.
Yeah,
nigga, you're definitely doing some briefing on some Wall Street Journal shit as you're just reading. And then I will also throw in YouTube because that's a way to visually learn a lot of
YouTube.
Yeah, visually learn. And then my third thing would be Investopedia. Investopedia is where a lot of finance people who go to. Because everybody don't know everything off the top of their head. And then like a lot of like students go to, like finance students as well, go to understand finance in layman's terms. They put it down in layman's terms. Everything is there. And so once you go to the bond page and then you see stocks and you're like, they's like, oh, this is different from stock in this way. But you're like, I don't know what the fuck a stock is. It's highlighted. So all you gotta do is click that. Now you didn't went into stocks. You start learning about stocks. And that's what research is. It's just going through and like really getting to understanding, and Investopedia makes it easy for you to go through and research. So Investopedia, YouTube, put things on your timeline. That is what we.
Yeah, and I say so, the Warren, you speak on Warren Buffett.
Yeah,
that's a person to watch. On there, watch Phil Towns. Mm-hmm. That's a person that I ran into when I was on there. What's the guy for Shark Tank? What was the guy for Shark Tank? Mark Cuban for sure. That's another one. Yeah, but the other two guys, the bald headed one. Yeah,
Mr. Wonderful, but I forgot his
name.
But
just research it.
And then y'all, another thing that you didn't know you can do is you can go and figure out what the politicians are putting their stock money into.
Yeah, so you can go on. Yeah. And on Yahoo Finance, they evaluate stocks. You can go to the earnings of a company, or you could just go to actually let me go to it because I got the app right here. So General Motors. I just typed General Motors in. I just went to General Motors. You can see what they opened at, what they closed at. You can see their market cap. You can see how many people investing in it. You can actually see they when they post their earnings, so how much. So when they post how much they earned for the last quarter, you can go to their financials and see what their revenue is, what their earnings is. You can see the analysis from the analysts. You can see what they predict that it's about to go to.
That's, to me, that all that information there is for people who understand that shit. Before you're going to get there, you're going to have to start following people who talking about it. Yes, and then once you follow people who talk about it, look in the comments and look at the other people who talking. It's smart people in the comments, y'all. It's smart people on Twitter, and they're like, I don't like this way because I don't like this way because when I did it this way, it didn't work for me because of this, and that. And then another person will like, yeah, you're right. Just that's learning too. You like, okay, he said he don't like that way because of this, and that. And so maybe I shouldn't invest in that. Maybe I should go this route. You know what I'm saying? You're in the conversation. You in the discussion.
Yep, you in the know.
You in the know. Like, so yeah. So I want to go ahead. Like we're getting a lot over. So I'm going to hurry up and quickly go through bonds. Bonds is just an IOU to some type of corporation or government entity. So basically what happens is it's a loan that you give, like that other people can give to the government or a corporation, and they have to pay you a certain amount back for the loan. So that's what a bond is. So that's when you have I feel like you should do bonds when you got that bread. You know what I'm saying? When you got that bread where you don't know where to put it, and you can put a whole bunch of it in there, and you can just have it sitting there. You're not really worried about it. and then you can come collect later. So I feel like bonds is for people who just got bread to be just sitting there that you can do something with.
Yeah, because you
Yeah.
can. It's basically letting them borrow your money, and then like, okay, you're gonna get that return. And don't they pay you a dividend like
Mhm.
monthly or something, or is
I
it
think it's
quarterly?
yearly. It depends on what
It's
bond it is.
Yeah, it's like they pay
Yeah.
you back. So basically,
Mhm.
they will pay you back within a certain amount of time, so that you will get your money that you invested before your bond's expiration date.
So, if you got money that you feel like you just want to sit on or something like that. Mines are normally for people who got a lot more money, you know what I'm saying? And don't need the money
Yeah,
liquid. You don't need the
immediately.
money right now. Liquid just means immediately. So you
Yeah.
don't need it right now, then bonds is where you go. Real estate, you know what I'm saying? We just talked about that. We ain't gonna go too much into that. But like buying,
Right,
renting out, rental
buy
property,
lower.
rental income. Trump actually put into place if you invest in a bad community, and you get capital, if you get money off of that investment, then you don't have to pay any taxes on it. So he actually had that go in, and a lot of white people have been benefiting off of that, but that's something that black people can also benefit off of. I don't know if everybody's going to change that. I'm sure he probably wouldn't, because he probably get money off of that too.
Right.
But that's something that you can do as well. So real estate is definitely a good place. And another thing with real estate is REIT, and it's basically a real estate investment trust. It's kind of like a stock fund where you put your money into this REIT, and then this real estate company, they take your money and they invest in real estate everywhere, and then the profits and the dividends, well, the profits that they get, they spread to everybody. So it's basically like a dividend you get basically for the profit. So it's not a company though, it's real estate. So you have an REIT, and so I think I'm going to start putting my money into REITs, because there's people out here that, if you don't want to be the one flipping houses, you don't want to be the one selling houses and stuff, you can put your money into the people who do that, and you can get money off of that, and that's a quick way to get some money too.
Yeah, like I
So
always say,
let's say,
it's a
yeah,
thousand ways to make money. Pick one.
if you find somebody who wants this, who's into flipping and stuff like that, you be like, shit, nigga, I throw you $200-$300 in on it. If you give me, for 200 300 back, you know what I'm saying? And they probably gonna be like, fuck, I don't give a fuck. Hell yeah, I do that shit, because it's gonna help. Anything to help. So I would definitely look into that as well.
Yeah,
So those
definitely.
are ways that you can invest. There's so many. There's like, it's not so many. It's probably like
Well, investment.
10.
Yeah, it's about 10. Yeah, it's
Probably
about
10 ways you
10.
can invest, for real, for real.
But there's other ways to make money. For real,
It
for
is
real.
other ways to make money. So those are the ways that we use so
Yeah.
far. So out of everything we said, top thing you need to understand, and the top thing that you want to do before you even get into
Before you think
this.
about even
We didn't even talk
investing,
about crypto.
before no, we ain't gonna even
We
talk
ain't
about that.
gonna
before you thinking about investing and the 401k,
anything.
before you think about the stock market, before you think about bonds, think about that budget.
You have to know how much you have to do anything with, and you have to be realistic. And if you have a lifestyle, then you
Include
have
that
to
lifestyle.
include your lifestyle, and then include your investments. You know what I'm saying? And if you can't live the lifestyle, then you need to change up how much money you're making. And before you get to anything else, that has to be right. You have to have your foundation right. So make sure you get your budgeting together. Next, make sure you get your emergency fund together. Then next, you can start investing your shit, and you gonna be on track. It's not that difficult. It's not that hard. Everybody can do it.
The
Just do it
hardest
the right way.
part is continuing to do it. And that's what
Yeah,
I
it's
say.
consistency, like everything else.
And that's why I say sometimes it works differently. So let me chime in before we wrap this up and let y'all know that if you want to budget your money and then invest some and save some, if that's what you want to do, you can do that. If you want to invest in your money, then if you want to budget your money, then save your money, and then you want a certain amount of money before you invest. If you want to budget your money and then invest your money and choose to invest that money and put that money into savings account, whatever you want to do, make it make sense for you, but it all starts with budgeting. Make sure you know how much you have to input into your savings, investments, and to anything else. So that's the most important part.
All right, y'all. So I really appreciate y'all listening to the SawCast and tuning in with us. Like, share, subscribe our shit.
Yes, sir.
And you know what I'm saying? I would really want like us to get a dialogue going on. Hopefully at some point the SawCast can, you know what I'm saying, if we get to a point we can start employing people, we can have our own funds and all that type of stuff. You know what I'm
Right, right,
saying?
right.
But me and Steven are always willing to help you guys out. If you have any questions on anything, if you like, how do I invest? How much I should invest? Stuff you can invest as low as $10 on in some shit. You know what I'm saying? If you want
Yeah,
crypto, you can invest some pennies in some shit. It just depends. You know what I'm saying? Just let us know. We'll help y'all. And so thank
definitely,
y'all.
definitely. And I know some things that we went a little surface level on, but reach out to us if y'all need anything. We just trying to make sure y'all know the basis of everything, and we appreciate y'all rocking out.
All right. This is SawCast. We'll see y'all later.
We
Bye.
out.